Hi everyone, it's Nate with ASPNC, and today we're going to try some virtual climbing. We're here at North Country Climbing Center for a little climbing session, and we thought we'd bring you along and try out our new virtual programming. So I'm here today with Nicole, one of our volunteers, and I just want to bring you for a quick tour of the gym, and then we'll talk a little bit about doing some climbing and how we do our adaptive climbing. But as you can see, there's all sorts of climbing, big tall walls to have some fun on. This section has our roped climbing. So while we're climbing here, someone would be belaying you and we would be there to help. We offer side climbing as well for those that need someone next to them for a little extra assistance. We can have 1 or 2 people do that. As you can see in the video today, we're wearing masks. It's part of the new requirements for reopening the gym. But we'll just come around. This is the other side of the climbing rope section. They have the old man sitting way up tall looking over everybody. And then the section over here in the red is the boulder section. The boulder section doesn't have any ropes you can climb without. It's a nice padded landing and gives you a different style of climbing. As you can see, we've already started getting our climbing gear on. Nicole has her harness, she has her climbing shoes, her mask of course, and she's putting her chalk on. So we're gonna go get warmed up and we'll bring you along for the climb. All right, so we're all ready to climb. I want to show you guys the rating system here. Each climb has a number system. 5.1 is the easiest, goes up here to about 5.12. Those are the harder climbs. You can see the holds are all the same color that the tape is, so that's how we know this is going to be our route to climb. Next we'll show you guys how to tie in. We have our rope. The climber goes on the rope closer to the wall. The rope away from the wall is for the belayer. Nicole's going to show us how she ties in. We're using a figure 8 knot to tie into the harness. And then we always double check that our knots are correct. We'll go over the buddy check in a minute.
Through the bottom loop of your harness and then up through the top loop of your harness. You want to follow along these ropes until you get 2 figure 8s. I'm not the best at this, so it's not going to look the prettiest, but it'll do the job. So you trace around, go underneath. This is the most ugly figure 8 ever. Alright, and I don't think I'm going to have enough rope at the end, but we'll see. And then you just figure 8 through. Now, this is hideous, but that's okay because everybody has a learning process. And it does actually have just enough. You try to have 2 hand holds and less than a hand hold here, closest to your harness. So it's not very pretty, but there's 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. And that's what you want when you're buddy checking.
You agree?
Yep.
So we're going to connect our belay device in. So there's different types of belay devices. We're not going to go a whole lot of detail about the belay devices, but we're using a Greedry today. On the rope, we have to have someone to belay for safety. Now that we're connected in, my beaner's closed. Nicole's going to check in. She has 2 questions that she'll ask. I'm going to check her knot. But the climber will always ask if they're on belay and if they're ready to climb.
Am I on belay?
You're on belay. We're going to set the camera up so we can watch the climb.
Am I on belay?
You're on belay.
May I climb?
You may climb.
Climbing.
So you heard Nicole check in. made sure she was ready to climb, and you can see that she's following the red route. That was the route she decided to climb. She's moving up nicely with both her hands and her feet, and we'll see her get to the top here soon. Now that she's reached the top, she's going to ring the bell of success, and then she'll check in with the belayer down below to let the belayer know she's ready to come down. And watch how she uses her legs to push herself away from the wall so she doesn't bump into it, and then she's able to walk and jump her way down. So that was fun to watch Nicole climb. She did an awesome job. While we're in the rope section, we want to show you another option for climbing. It's called an auto belay. The auto belay is right here, and this is a way to climb without having someone to belay you. It will do all of that for you. It will lower you down slowly if you were to fall off the wall, and allows a little bit kind of easier climbing if you don't have someone to help you out. So we're going to demonstrate that. It is kind of important to note, the first time you use the auto belay, it's good to go up a short ways and then let it drop you down, because it does feel a little different. And it's also really important that you not let go of the auto belay when you're hooking in, because if you let go and it's not hooked in, it will go all the way up to the top. So we're going to undo the beaner and go right into the bid loop on our harness. Make sure that's locked.
So it automatically locks, but you still want to double check.
And then I'm going to climb this blue route, and I'll show you how it drops you down. So if I come off the wall, I drop down, and then you have to start all over again. So you can see, now that I'm climbing back up, as I climb, the auto belay tether goes up with me, keeps just a little bit of tension on the tether so that it's always there, ready to go, just in case you fall. Alright, now that I'm almost to the top, I'm going to finish my route, and then you'll see to come down, all I have to do is just let go of the wall and push myself back. The auto belay will catch me, it will lower me down, and here I go, back on my way down nice and safe.
And then it just drops you at a steady pace. That's nice. It's actually very important that you keep your legs out in front of you so that you don't bang into the wall like Nate was doing. Well, he wasn't banging into the wall, but putting his feet out so he didn't bang into the walls.
And that's the auto belay. It's a great way to climb if you don't have a partner at that moment, and it gives you the fun of climbing. So North Country Climbing Center has harnesses if you don't have your own. They also have shoes. You do wear a special type of shoe while climbing. It's normally a kind of a tighter fitting rubber soled shoe that helps you grip onto the holds and gives you some good friction to grip onto They supply all of the rope. Everything that you would need to climb is right here. And if you come for adaptive climbing in person with us, it's all included in the fee for the climbing. So Nicole is going to try this route.
Am I on the left?
You were on the way?
Can I climb?
You may climb.
How goes it?
Good. So here, Nicole's climbing up this column right on the edge, and that can add a kind of fun dimension to it. So you have two different walls to work on. Almost looks like she's climbing a ladder. And on this top portion, there's actually some holds on the Old Man of the Mountain that she'll be able to use to help her get to the top. And looks like she's going to reach the top here in a second. Again, she'll check in with the belayer down below, and down she'll come.
That's the one I'm interested about. You should. I got the map. I saw that. I didn't haven't
that?
downloaded it yet.
Coming down.
I'll probably put download it this afternoon. So we had Kelsey and Logan over, and we mean to get like a drink with them. Kelsey's the co-host. Probably.
So we want to show you the bouldering section. Like I said, no ropes over here. You don't need to have the harness on. I'm going to find this red boulder problem, and then you'll see that you can just drop back down. These are typically much shorter, but they'll be harder routes to go up compared to a rope because they're so short. So this wall is no taller than 14 feet. So we're going to see if we can climb this red one on the boulder route. There'll be tape that'll tell you where to start with your hands. So you have to start the same way every time versus on the rope wall, you can kind of start your own way.
Nicely done.
All right, now that I've made it, I'm just going to fall down. It's important to note that you want to fall backwards to stay safe as you fall back down. And that's a boulder problem. One of the things you can see here at the boulder wall is this has some really kind of steep overhung roots. So you're really working against gravity. We have some walls that are slightly overhung, so you're only leaning back a little. And then on the other side, we have a slab wall that goes straight up, so you're not overhanging. Gives you a different challenge. This is a training wall. You can kind of pick and choose your own route up as to how difficult you want it to be. You can use the holds that are easier or harder. It's really good practice for you.
Practice going different directions. If you need some help. If you're sideways climbing, you can do that. Practice climbing down because I don't like jumping. It's a good wall for that. Nate's gonna try a much more difficult one than the last time. And sometimes it's very helpful if you're taller for some of these things. And it definitely requires a little more strength to do some of these bouldering problems. And sometimes it requires a little more skill as well. But Nate's trying his hardest. Good job.
So typically you wouldn't want to swim like that. It takes a lot of energy. You can kind of see the other guy looking over going, what in the world is he doing?
Yep.
I was definitely struggling there a little bit, but that's why you practice.
And it's okay if you don't get it the first time, because you can try again. If you don't get it the first time, that's good. That means you can practice it. Sometimes it's good to get out of our comfort zone and try things that are harder than you think you can do, because you might surprise yourself and do it anyways. Nice try. And climbing, it is okay to start somewhere other than the beginning. If you're having problems with a certain section, you can start somewhere else and then move over to that section that you're having trouble with, so that you can practice that section. It is tough though.
It's like very easy. I could probably nail it, but it's perfect. No, I'm going there. He's the wrong hand. So, yeah, I know, I need the wrong hand. I knew the second I went through the ground, I was like, yeah, the wrong conditions to it, they use. Like, there's gonna be all that. Alright. Alright. Have fun.
Alright, so for this climb, I decided to try a harder route in the gym. This is a 5.9 level route, and it might be hard to see, but all of the holds are red, and on this first section they're all in the red painted area, which is an overhung portion of the wall. So some of these holds were pretty big, hard to hold on to, couldn't just grab them, so it kind of challenges you to find new ways to stay on the wall. And I really enjoy climbs like this that challenge your ability and are a little different than the average climb. The other thing that's really fun about this climb is it brings you from the left over to the right and back. It makes you swap your feet. You can see I've been doing a little bit of that. Some big stretches and my feet are slipping. At this point I'm getting pretty tired. It's a lot of work trying to come up through the overhang area. And now I'm trying to make that transition completely up and over it. Nicole gives me a little bit of help with where some of the foot placement is. But I'm now pretty tired. I'm having a hard time holding on, and there I go. So I decide to take a break and just swing around for a little bit. This part can often be fun. And it gives your arms a nice chance to take a break, get a little rest in. One of the challenges is to then get back on the wall. But the ability to take a break like this is one of the reasons rope climbing is so popular, because it lets you take that break and then reset. So now I'm going to get back on the wall, see if I can get up over the section that I came off. There I go, making progress. Now I'm onto a flatter section of the wall. Let's see if I can work my way back over to the left. And there I go again. Just see that my weight came out from the wall, pulling me away. My arms were tired. I didn't have the strength to hold on. So I'll take another break, let the arms rest, and then I'll get ready to start again.
2 weeks PE.
It takes you so far.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Nice long climb that way though.
Yes, it is. Alright, so had a break, time to get back on the wall, see if I can finish this route. You can see that I'm coming up to another red painted section of the wall. That means it's got another overhanging section. So that's going to be another difficult area to come up and over. Even if it doesn't look like a whole lot from this angle, it definitely makes you work a lot harder. So I'm trying to get my feet in position. Like I've said, using good footwork in your legs is really important. And there I go again. Obviously at this point I'm just pretty tired out. It's been a long, hard climb. But that doesn't mean I'm going to give up. Take another quick break, and then all I have to do is get back in position and see if I can finish the climb. The key is to make sure you have that good footwork to really use the big muscles in your leg to push yourself up, and so that you're not using your upper body. If all you're using is upper body, then you're going to tire out quickly, and it'll be a very hard climb. Is it hard to pull up?
Yeah.
Alright, here we go again. Getting back on the wall. Gonna get myself in position. Now I'm only a couple holds away, so let's see if I can finish this route. It's gonna be a little hard to see. The top hold's just out of sight of the camera. But you can see I've positioned my body in close to the wall, and I'm reaching. And there go both hands up to the top. But that final hold, boy was I so happy to be at the top of that climb. I was definitely ready to be done and have a break. And now I can enjoy the trip down while Nicole belays me down. It was a lot of hard work, but it was well worth it, and it was definitely a very fun climb. Maybe next time I'm at the gym, I'll try this again and see if I can improve on that and keep working at it and get better. After working on a hard climb like this, especially if you've come off the wall and you've been sitting down into that harness, one of the things that can happen is that knot will tighten up as you put all your weight into it. And so it can be its own challenge getting that knot undone and coming off the rope. One of the things you can do is compress the rope or the knot between your two hands, and that often will help loosen it up for you. Sometimes you just got to keep trying, and sometimes it's a project you work on for a couple weeks. But definitely harder. So we thought it would be fun to give you the first-person view. Nicole's now wearing the GoPro on her head, and she's going to bring you up on a climb.
Now this is a tough climb for me, so wish me luck.
You're on belay.
Can I climb?
You can climb.
All right. Attempting to climb.
You can see that this is kind of a unique climb, starting right on the edge of the wall, and this climb is actually going to then transition out to the right, and then it will make you transition back onto the main wall. So this adds some additional challenges and makes it a fun climb to do.
Well, this is a funky one. It goes around the corner, so that's not my most comfortable area for climbing, but I'm gonna do my best. And if I fall off, I know Nate will catch me. Alright. Oh, these are awkward holds. If you have to sit and wait and look at it a little bit while you're climbing, that's fine too. All right, let's see. doesn't say I can't use the edge of the wall. So I'm gonna use the edge of the wall. Maybe. There we go. And it's important to know when you're ready to go down, you need to lean back even though it's uncomfortable. And you can let them know at the bottom that you're ready to fall. Keep your feet out so don't bang against the wall.
Well done. All right, guys, so I'm gonna bring you up this 5-6 yellow route here. You can see looking out, it leans back just a little. Kind of some different holds. It's kind of fun to climb something like that. But first I have to tie in. Make sure I'm safe. Anybody that comes and climbs with us in the gym, we help with tying in, make sure everybody's safe before they go off the ground. All of our volunteers are trained on how to tie the knot, how to belay. Myself, plenty of extra tail.
Plenty of extra, but that's okay. We can tie it up.
All right, we're gonna do our buddy check.
2, 2, 2, 2. Good.
Belay device is in correctly and it's beaner's locked. All right, I'll see you at the top.
All right, you are on belay.
All right, can I climb?
Yes, you may.
So climbing's as much about using your legs to push you up as it is arms. Your footwork's very important. And then it's of course important you get both hands on the top to finish it. How does it look from up here? See the gym from a different perspective. All right, let's go down. This is the fun part, bouncing your way down. Awesome. And we are just way up there. All right, guys, we're finishing up our climbing session. I want to thank you all for joining us on this first ever climbing virtual programming. We hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more of the climbing gym, let us know. This is one of the many programs we're looking at doing some virtual sessions. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll bring some more kind of educational topics to it, climb some different routes, and we'll try to see if we can get some of the other volunteers involved for some of the weeks. And we hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. We'll see you at the next one.